Update on my mission to make project managers unemployed, I guess. I didn't update yesterday because of the simple fact that I did not manage to make it work. And some things just take longer than a day. But I want to learn it. It's a tough nut, though. Here's what I want to do. Now that we have a database, 1 second, set up, I think this is it. Yeah, so this is mock data. Don't try to contact the numbers unless you want to have me on WhatsApp. What I did is I created an Airtable sheet with all the editors, projects, brands, and stats. I wrote a long paragraph on how I want the database to work and then asked, okay, what kind of fields do I need in order to make this happen? Essentially thinking with extra steps. And here's what I landed on, and I think this is revolutionary, but I'm just too technically illiterate at the moment to make this work. I am building an AI agent that will act as a project manager. And once we erased the project manager from our minds, consciousness, and payroll, we can make simple services better, as seen in my last video. I thought long and hard about it, and all a project manager does is assign tasks and ask if it's ready. We are scratching the ask if it's ready part because that doesn't help anybody if you have good people. And here's what is happening. So first, and this is like a loose structure, but I have a Trello trigger. So every time something happens in Trello, every time I have a new task that needs to be done, in our system, it's a matter of ideas, projects that are being worked on and approved. So every time you have a project like add idea 5, content inside, you can move it into active. It gets a due date. We work on it, we deliver it, and then you move it to approved. And for us, we only see the middle column. We don't look at anything else. We only see this. So in my overview, I have a bunch of cards that are currently being worked on. And N8N, I don't know who coded that stuff, but it's not taking clues across multiple boards. And for speed, I put everything into one collective board, the editor river, and linked a few test accounts to just test the data. I enabled the sync, so every card that is moved into active on those accounts gets mirrored into here. These are just test cards. And now this list triggers our N8N workflow. Then it takes the contents of the card and it compiles them into something that's actually readable via AI transform. Then what I want to have happen is, so this AI agent classifies the task. How difficult is the task? What does a person need to know in order to make that happen? And I have documentation how to categorize tasks, etc. in this document. So goal would be I attach this document to its memory so it knows at all times what I prioritize, what tools we have, and so on. It looks at the card, sees, okay, we need voiceovers for this. A beginner can do that because a script is required. We need a creative strategist, in which case it would mark it as stage 3 or 2. And then a second AI agent, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to make a second AI agent, finds the editor that is most suited based on track record. It can skim through gigabytes of data in a second, determine who is the best fit for this card, and then give the project to that editor who is qualified and has the best track record on the brand or company in total. Then it sends a Slack message. So little excursion on what differentiates an AI agent from a LLM like ChatGPT or Claude has the ability to first make a plan on how to achieve the given task and then use different tools automatically without your permission. So I can now give him my Airtable access via my API or my Slack access through my authenticator, and then he can determine what to do in these tools. He's free. He can run away, do whatever he wants to, and then come back and return something. And in this case, this AI agent could technically be an LLM if he wouldn't have to handle the Airtable database. But this one has to be an AI agent because an LLM couldn't withdraw the most recent records. It couldn't follow a certain logic to come to a conclusion, and it couldn't notify the people in charge. So once my AI agent finds the editor that is most qualified on that account for that task specifically, he sends a Slack message. Let me see. And you can build Slack blocks with which you can basically build in editing Uber where this AI agent can go into our Slack, notify the person it found on Airtable, and ask it, hey, do you have time in the next 24 hours to do this task? Marvin goes into his Slack, he checks. Yeah, okay, that seems reasonable. I don't have anything planned for today. The AI agent returns to the task and marks it as assigned, moves on to the next task that comes in case nobody answers. And this is everything that I included in this project manager manual. In case Marvin doesn't answer, on the dot, after 12 hours of no answer, it moves back to the Airtable database, finds the second best fit, and then sends a Slack message to that guy while I'm asleep. Yo, okay? Like, from a spiritual standpoint, this makes a bunch of sense, but translating it into the technical is such a task. I'm telling you. Whoa, my brain is like full of fog, full of smoke. I feel pressured. I can't even think right now. It's 8 p.m. and trust me, I spent 5 hours on this today trying to plug together API things, and it's still not working. And trust me, this is not even the first evening I tried. I hate this shit, but you can imagine that the payoff once this is done is gonna be immense. If you ever coded something, and I had my fair share of like Arduinos and Python tutorials when I was 16, the feeling when you solve a problem is just wonderful. Yeah. But this is what I'm working on. At least I'm trying to. Work is defined by making progress. It's technically the same problem. I managed to get the webhook and Trello thing working, but still the fucking tools are not working. What? Apparently, this guy, he built a Telegram bot and he built nested sequences of workflows that the AI agent can then use. So he has one sequence for getting emails and then one sequence for writing an email. So it's gonna get Inception level difficult and my brain has to keep up. Otherwise, people will have to wait. I think we have, how many people on the wait list? The recruiting ads are banging right now. Let me see. I just see it on my phone every day, but I get like 5 people every single day. That's crazy volume. And I can just go in here, bang, 15 people, take the course, do a test cut. This is power. And I think at this point, I'm going to put my mind at ease. I'm going to do some editing to calm down this evening and then regroup tomorrow, because then I can talk about something different. Sometimes I have to optimize this workflow for entertainment. And me being stuck for a week on this workflow in the back doors, okay, while not even talking about it, that's not really entertaining. So yeah, I'm gonna find some hours to do something different while I get this to work. Once it's working, heads are gonna roll, my friend. Heads are gonna roll.